everyone, Chris Dennison here, joined by Adam Booth, coming at you from the Dirt Rider shop. And we had a big week of racing this week. Round number 11 of the Monster Energy Supercross Championship went down in Indianapolis. And basically everybody but Ryan Villapoto is bummed right now. Stewart hit the dirt, knocked his head, sat out the main event. Chad Reed is still out. Dungy's been out. Trey Kennard's been out like the entire year. So what is going on? Villapoto's miles ahead.
And that's the problem. He's miles ahead and people are trying to keep up and they're pushing it, and Villapoto's just putting it down. And what it does is it gives the guys towards the back, they're pumped, they're psyched. So normally, you know, they'd be 5th, 6th, 7th, guys like Justin Brayton, Brett Metcalf. There's a few guys who are now podiums and they're leading races until Villapoto catches up and passes them. But they're up there, they're in front of the crowds, they're happy.
Right, and let's be honest, Villapoto would have to mess up pretty dang bad to lose the championship at this point. You know, mathematically, it's looking like he could wrap it by New Orleans if he keeps up his winning ways. Does anybody else have a shot in catching him?
No, Villapoto could almost take 3 weeks off right now, come back and still have the points lead, and he just needs to ride consistent and have fun, and he's got it.
Right. In the lights class, we saw an end to Justin Barcia's win streak. Rockstar Suzuki's Blake Wharton came out, won the main event, but we had some drama there too. There's a restart. They throw the red flag, which restarts the race, but it was on lap 4, so they do this weird stagger start thing. Can you explain that?
Yeah, once you're past 4 laps, they don't bring the riders back to the starting gate. They keep the order they finished in for that lap, line them back up, live engine, official holds the flag, and they just have to watch that flag go, and then you got a whole line of going on the track. So it's an interesting thing, and you've never seen it before in Supercross. So
right.
It's kind of, riders were confused, fans were confused, announcers were confused. It was kind of neat.
Yeah, it's a little bit funky, but for Blake Wharton, a win's a win. You know, he's pumped to put an end to Barcia's win streak. So you think we're going to see that momentum roll on? I mean, Wharton, he's proven to be a pretty good outdoor rider. How far is this going to carry him?
It'll carry him for a long time. Anytime you get a win, it just keeps you motivated. It gives you confidence to know you can beat people, and he'll carry it through. It's going to be good.
Right. And speaking of momentum, the GNCC series started with a bang this year. First round took place actually on a Tuesday in Daytona. Then round number 2 was on a Sunday. So going from Daytona to Georgia, these riders only had 4 days to prepare. How does that work?
Well, and they only have 4 days after a heat race, and it was pretty hot, and those guys raced for 3 hours. Paul Whibley, Charlie Mullins battled it out at moto pace through horrible sand and mud and rocks, and by the time they crossed the finish line, you know, together at the end of 3 hours, they were done, laying in the dirt, exhausted. Caleb Russell, who had to pull out of the race a little early, a little shoulder issue, he was fresh for the next round in Georgia. He watched those guys, paced off of them, and when the 2-lap left sign came out, he just turned it on and left them. He had a lot of energy left in the tank, and those guys were still recovering from a very tiring race.
Right, and we still got Whibley in the points lead, but I think a lot of people don't realize 3 hours at moto pace is gnarly. And even for a young kid like Russell, he's leaving it all out on the track. As we saw too, I mean, how many times do you see a race where 2 guys literally collapse at the finish line?
Not very often.
Well, that's it for this week. We're looking forward to round number 12 of the Monster Energy Supercross Championship this next weekend, coming at us from Canada. So, Boothie, tell us about that.
It's going to be awesome. Villapoto, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. For more info, you can log on to supercrossonline.com. Also go to motocross.com and dirtrider.com. And we are out.